repeal Obamacare. And it's 100% repeal of Obamacare without equivocation, leaving nothing left behind. It's got to be pulled out by the roots.
Looking into November, realistically, what do you think the chances are of the Republicans regaining the House?
Well, today, and 2 or 3 weeks ago, I wasn't as optimistic. Today, I think if the election were held today, Republicans win the House back. I'm not as optimistic as some of the people that are predicting scores of seats. I think that it's still marginal. If the election were held today, I think we're in that pickup range of 41 to 47 seats. And that's too close for comfort. I don't want to cut it that close, and I want to work this thing as hard as we can. There is a tsunami coming, but they predict tsunamis that don't actually wash ashore and cause much damage to the other side. We don't know how big a wave we're actually going to have when the time comes and it washes over us on November 2nd. So everything, we need to paddle as hard as we can, campaign as hard as we can, push this message as hard as we can, and we can't have people sitting home thinking that the job's going to be done for them. This is the time, not just for the turnout, we have to turn out the effort for the turnout, and Democrats will be attacking Republicans with all kinds of negative ads for the purposes of not switching votes over to their side, but just to suppress the Republican turnout. They don't want conservative Republicans to vote in this election, and they'll be spending millions of dollars to try to convince people to stay home by attacking Republicans. And if Republicans understand that, there's another negative attack. Go vote for somebody that you know will vote right.
Now, to go off of that, if Republicans take back the House, you and your colleagues in the GOP, what are your 3 specific things you will tackle first come January?
I don't even know if I want to list 2 and 3, but number 1 is this: repeal Obamacare. And it's 100% repeal of Obamacare without equivocation, leaving nothing left behind. It's got to be pulled out by the roots. It has become it's a malignant tumor that threatens to swallow up American liberty. And we have to pull it out so that there's not one particle of DNA left behind. And if we don't do that, then it will metastasize and it'll take away our freedom, and we'll never become the nation that we could be otherwise. But now, I say repeal Obamacare. This is a hard job to do, and the American people need to understand how long it's going to take, how determined we have to be, and the sequence of events that we have to get right at every stop. The first thing is H.R. 1, the first bill that's filed by the new Speaker of the House and the Republican leadership, needs to be standalone 100% repeal of Obamacare without adding a bunch of bells and whistles that we want to do for change, because this bill isn't going to be signed by the President. We know that, so we need to put the marker down. We're repealing Obamacare. And if that gets through the Senate to the President's desk, he vetoes it. Okay, some Republicans will say, well, we did our job, we passed the repeal. That's only step 1, and it's not the most difficult at all. Next thing that needs to happen is, then in every appropriations bill, we have to put language in it that prohibits any of the funds in that appropriations bill from being used to implement Obamacare or to enforce Obamacare. And write in all the legal language to make sure that not $1 can be used to advance and develop Obamacare. We need to do that with every appropriations bill. At some point, we go down the line where the President starts to veto our appropriations bills when they get to his desk. And when that day comes, it'll be the President who would be making a decision by vetoing the bill. We'll send him another bill as fast as we can. We'll keep sending him bills every day, 2 or 3 times a day if we need to. And if he vetoes them every time we send him a bill, it's the President, the result of the President's action would be that government comes to a halt. And if that scenario unfolds, and I expect it will, we have to stare the President down. He's got to be the one that blinks. And if we're not willing to stand, no matter how much heat starts to come from everywhere across America, we're not going to get Obamacare repealed, and he'll have it so well implemented by the time we elect a new president that we won't be able to pull it out. And so we have to stare him down, we have to hold our ground, we have to make the President blink, and what will make the President blink will be public opinion rising up against him. And then doing this through 2011 and 2012. And in 2012, we elect a president whose first order of business needs to be to sign the full repeal of Obamacare. I want him to do that right on the podium on the west portico of the Capitol, January 20th, 2013. First act of the new president, sign the repeal of Obamacare. Then we can start to rebuild.